Hello again, welcome back to Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. Hope everyone's doing well. This is episode number 18, and we're going to do a recap of the first 10 bouts in the Title Bout Mini Survivor Series 1. So let's get to that right away, and we'll follow that up with bout number 11. So in bouts 1 to 10, number 1, which was featured here on the channel earlier, in an earlier video, Lisa Vold defeated John L. Sullivan with a KO in the 5th round. That was followed up by fight number 2. Joe Frazier defeated George Foreman in a unanimous decision. Number 3, Teofilo Stevenson defeated Eddie Makin in a unanimous decision. Bout number 4, Larry Holmes takes down Joe Bugner in a unanimous decision also. Another unanimous decision in fight number 5, Gene Tunney over Tommy Farr. Joe Frazier in fight 6, his second fight in the first 10 bouts, defeats Mike Tyson in a unanimous decision also. Bout number 7, Cleveland Williams overpowers Chuck Wepner with a TKO in the 3rd. In the 8th bout, Archie Moore puts on a defensive clinic and frustrates Sam Langford, doesn't allow him to score a lot of points, and Moore wins with unanimous decision. And fight number 9, Lee Savold in his second fight in the first 10 bouts is TKO'd by Harry Wills in the 4th round. And Harry Wills, fighting back-to-back, in fight number 10 takes down James Jeffries with a unanimous decision in 10 rounds. So we will do our random draw here for fight number 11. And shuffle the fighter cards. I'll cut them and pick fighter A, and then we'll go from there. All right, so fighter A for our bout 11 is going to be Jimmy Young. Remember Jimmy Young from the 70s? All right, we'll shuffle again and select fighter number 2, or B rather. Alrighty. And fighter B is Smokin' Joe Frazier, who's going to have his 3rd fight in the 11th fight of this tournament. All right. So this one's a bit lopsided. We'll see how it goes. So Jimmy Young is fighter A, and Joe Frazier is fighter B. And we take a look at their base points. Frazier is the higher rated fighter. He's a 20. Young is a 14. That gives Frazier a +6 differential. So he needs to be up by 38 points to score a TKO. And for Young, it'll be 62. So 62 for Young. I write this here just so I don't forget. And 38 for Joe Frazier. All right. So the higher rated fighter goes first, and the bell rings, and we are underway in round 1. He rolls boxcars, and that's a power check. His power is an A. That's a 7. On an A is a potential for a knockdown. Jimmy Young's knockdown rating is an H. We'll take a look at that here. He rolls a 4, and Jimmy Young is knocked down in the 1st round. Now we have to check and see if he's knocked out. All right, so his knockout rating is an I. So we look under the I column, and we roll a 4, and he is not knocked out. Now, we don't use these points. Anytime a fighter is knocked down and not knocked out, the fighter who did the knocking down automatically scores 10 and wins the round. Now that is unless Jimmy Young knocks down Joe Frazier. Okay, so he rolls an 8, which is a defensive check. And, well, we got the points backwards here. Sorry about that. Okay, so the defensive check, Frazier's a +2 on defense. Not a very good defender. So Jimmy Young scores 16 points. Frazier scores 30, which gives him a plus 14 differential already. And Frazier wins round one. And he is plus 14 in the point differential. Okay, we go to round two. And Joe Frazier goes first. He rolls a 4. 4 is a column A check. And he rolls a 7. That's no change. So Frazier scores 20 points in round two. Now Jimmy Young. He rolls a 6. A 6 is a power check. Jimmy Young is a power E fighter. So we look under the E column. He rolls a 3. And that's potential to knock down Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier's knockdown rating is an H. So we'll check the H column, and it's a 4. And Joe Frazier is knocked down. In the second round, now we have to check to see if Frazier's knocked out. And that's under the I column. He rolls a 7, which is not a knockout. But, just like in the first round, Joe Frazier's knocked down in the second round, just like Jimmy Young was in the first. Jimmy Young automatically gets 10 points added to his base value. He automatically wins the round. He's a plus 4 for this round. So Young wins round two, but Frazier is still plus 10. Okay, so we go to round three. Joe Frazier rolls a 3. 3 is a dice. So that means we re-roll the dice, and Frazier's going to score what the dice say instead of his base value. So he rolls a 7. So the way I designate that here is all right, 7D, just so I know it's only 7 points. Now Jimmy Young goes, and he rolls a 5. 5 is a defense. Joe Frazier's a plus 2 on defense, gives him a 16, and a plus 9 for the round. Jimmy Young wins his second round, and now Joe Frazier is only up by a differential of 1. We go to round 4. Frazier goes first once again, rolls an 8. That's a defensive check. Jimmy Young's a minus 2 on defense. So Frazier's going to lose 2 points this round and score 18. Jimmy Young, he rolls an 8, also a defensive check. Joe Frazier is a plus 2 on defense. So Young scores a 16. Frazier wins the round with a 2-point differential, giving him a total of 3 points differential after 4 rounds. Now we're going to round 5. Frazier first. That's a 9. A 9 is a power check. Frazier is a power A fighter. So we look at the A column. He rolls a 7. There's a potential for a knockdown. Jimmy Young's knockdown rating is an H. So we're going to roll under the H column. And we roll a 7. And Frazier scores an extra 8 points in this round. Jimmy Young is not knocked down. So that's 28 points for Frazier. Now Jimmy Young goes. And he rolls a 5. 5 is a defense. Joe Frazier is a plus 2 on defense. That gives Young 16 points for the round. Frazier wins the round with a plus 12 differential and is now up 15 points for the fight. Now we go to round 6. Frazier rolls a 4, and a 4 is column A check. So we'll roll under column A and add that to Frazier's score. He rolls an 8, and 8 is a plus 2. So Frazier scores an extra 2 points for a round total of 22. Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young rolls a 3. 3 is dice. And he rolls a 5. So we'll designate that 5D. He only scores 5 points. Frazier wins by 17. Wins another round. And all of a sudden, Frazier is up to 32. He's wearing Jimmy Young down. Frazier only needs 6 more points differential to score a TKO as we head to round 7. Frazier rolls a 6. That's a power check. We go to the A column. He rolls a 7. There's potential for a knockdown. Jimmy Young's knockdown rating is an H. And we roll an 8. And that's a 7 points score in addition to his base value for Frazier for 27 in round 7. Now Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young rolls a 6. A 6 is a power check. His power is E. He rolls a 5. There's potential to knock down Frazier here. Frazier's knockdown rating is the H column. And we have a 7. And he does not knock him down, but he scores an extra 8 points. Plus 8 for 22 gives Frazier a plus 5 for the round, giving him winning the round, and he is 1 point away at 37. He's 1 point away from a TKO as we head to round 8. So Frazier goes first again. He rolls a 4. 4 is a column A check. He rolls a 7 under column A, no change. So Frazier only scores 20 points in round 8. Now Jimmy Young. Jimmy Young rolls an 8. An 8 is defense. Frazier is a plus 2 on defense. Wrong column. Plus 2 for 16. A plus 4 for Frazier for the round. Frazier wins the round. Goes to a plus 41. And the referee stops the fight in round 8. With Joe Frazier scoring a TKO over Jimmy Young. TKO in the 8th. So Jimmy Young is eliminated from the Survivor Series. He gets to go drink a beer. Joe Frazier goes back into the stack. He's already had 3 fights. You know, that's the one thing about this kind of tournament. Theoretically or possibly, a fighter could miss being pulled out of this pile, come down to the last 2 cards, and he hasn't fought, and he could win this tournament. That's just the way it goes. Win and stay in, lose and you go home. Okay, so that's going to do it for this episode. We did a recap of the first 10 fights of the Title Bout Mini Survivor Series number 1. And we featured fight number 11, which had Joe Frazier winning with a TKO of Jimmy Young in the 8th round. That's going to do it for this episode. If I don't get another one out over the weekend, enjoy your holiday. And until next time, oh, and don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Like this video. Leave me some comments. Tell your friends, whatever. Help this channel grow. As I was starting to say, if I don't get another video out over this weekend, enjoy your holiday. And until next time, take care.